how you should do it.
Hey! Happy Tuesday, everybody. Here we are for another week of Delve Requisite here on Proficiency Bonus. Welcome back, pirates. How you guys doing?
Aha!
A lot of this been going on in the Discord chat before we went live. Let us thank some sponsors before we begin tonight's episode. I see the links are already being posted for us, so yes, indeed, we have two sponsors of tonight's episode of Delve Requisite, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. You can type !Little Dragon or !CCG into chat at any point during tonight's stream to get a link to those websites to check out those fine sponsors. Little Dragon Corp, of course, a purveyor of tabletop RPG dice, such as my patented some weeks they're invisible to the green screen and some weeks they're not dice, as well as dice that everybody else has and will probably be lifting in the next 3 seconds. But if you would like to order dice of your own from Little Dragon Corp, you can use code PROBONUS to get 10% off your order at checkout. And Cardboard Castle Games is a brick and mortar tabletop game store located in the United States in Evans, Georgia. But if you do not live in or adjacent to Evans, Georgia, fear not, you can get any of their fine products online via their website, such as whatever that is Michael's holding up. The Red Dragon Inn.
Red Dragon Inn. Awesome game.
You can get that. You can get other things. You can... maybe they sell body pillows. I don't know what you're into. I don't know. Munchkin.
Pokemans.
Digimon body pillows.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Do you think that they have a body pillow of that?
They
I think they do have
They
like a
probably do.
big Pokeball pillow out there. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I think they do.
I think they have like Lucario body pillows because
I
it
know you
was by
freaks.
him.
You all know the freaks out there all pining for
buy it.
Lick-a-tongue.
Oh, gross. The only one I'm interested in, I want that, like, you know how that picture where they like give Diglett like a really buff like muscle man body? I want like a buff Diglett body pillow.
Yeah, I just found a
There's
Lucario body
there's
pillow on
Charmander
Google.
too.
It exists. They're real.
Well, this is
Ask Cardboard Cardboard.
Yeah, we weren't denying that they existed. The question was whether or not Cardboard Castle sells them.
send your emails
Let's
to
ask.
Castle Games and inquire about all manner of depraved Pokemon themed body
Leave our
pillows.
names out of it, though. We want to keep them as a sponsor.
But like, yeah, you know.
Hey, listen. Live your life. Whatever you're into. Whatever makes you happy. So, those are our sponsors. Thank you to Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. And as always, I'm sorry. So, the recap for tonight's episode. When last we left the crew of the Grimm's Folly, they had escaped the Invarian, or the Ignean city of Umyathdurai with a gaggle of freed orcish warriors and a couple of just like regular folks that were with them, and have made the plan to set sail back to Naporia to deliver the news that they uncovered about the Igneans' plot against lunar warriors, as well as information on a massive armada that they are building, as well as information that Aora Veshta, the ex-former head of the bookkeeper enclave in Umyathdurai, has to provide about what appears to be some sort of a concentrated effort, potentially across the entire empire, to seize Ordinum Librae agents for some reason. The plan as it stands is to sail back to Naporia, where Aora Veshta can send word to the Ordinum Librae to have teleportation magic established that can bring the crew of the Grimm's Folly, Mokral, Aora Veshta, and anybody else that would need transport across the continent to Terra Libra over there, so that Mokral can get medicine, hopefully, the antidote for the amaranth fever that his tribe had been plagued with, so that you guys can potentially get the journals that you obtained from Arcanist Thessene translated, which will hopefully have further information about the Ignian's plans for Lunar Warriors, and so that you can deliver this warning that the Empire is up to something. We had an incident at sea during a bit of rough weather, a bit of sabotage. A cannon was cut loose and crushed the leg of one of your crew members. She was healed to the point of not being in imminent danger of death or anything, but still pretty badly injured by the incident. The incident did also cost you one of your cannons, as it may have been accidentally thrown overboard while miniaturized.
Accidentally on purpose.
On purpose. Thinking the immediate suspect being Kirsaka, your Sahajin priestess slash prisoner slash ward, complicated NPC adoption situation, who denied involvement and is thus far, it seems, telling the truth. And there was an incident involving one of your young halfling wards, the largely silent Kenna, who revealed to Nimue that an additional kind of piece of the mystery is that Kenna, who had sort of suggested that she believed that her parents were dead, seemed to confirm that she actually saw something happen. But no further information was received from her, as a strange occurrence took place, and she channeled some sort of inner energy that released itself as lightning that shocked Nimue before causing the young woman to pass out unconscious. That, I believe, brings us up to speed on everything that kind of has happened, right? Yes. So, you guys are still at sea. You have a few days left to return to Naporia. Once again, I will give you the opportunity to conduct any business aboard the ship that you might want to do, any conversations you want to have, any sort of scenes that you'd like to play out. Unless you guys are happy, in which case we will accelerate travel heading towards Naporia. Anything you guys want to do?
I think the only thing Nimue would do would be like relay the new information we got to the party and to Movor, because Movor's taking care of them, right? Is it Movor?
Taking care of who?
Ogotumbe.
Ogotumbe. I would tell Ogotumbe that. Yeah.
Okay.
It is okay. After this thing happens with Kenna that like none of us really saw, is Nimue still being like a sad sack? Like, is she still like getting wasted on the deck and like being
I think
depressed?
after Kenna decked her one, she's like, okay, yeah, I deserve that. I gotta stop being a little bitch. Her mood swings go from one extreme to the next, so now she's back to normal.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do then.
Okay.
Okay. Then, I think the only thing before we proceed, one of the non-orc folks that you guys brought on board in Umyath Durai, there were three of them: a human male, a half-elf female, and a halfling male. Were the three of the other people that you let out of the slave pens that didn't peel off as you were making your escape. These three, ended up on the ship. the halfling gentleman approaches Thyxus a few days in, and he looks to be about what you would gauge to be like roughly middle-aged for halfling. He's a little bit kind of like doughier around the middle. He doesn't look like he's led a particular life of like heavy exertion. He's graying a little bit up top. The hair's a little bit thinner there. But he kind of pads up to you about midday, several days out, and he says, "Pardon me."
Yes. Sorry. Have we name? I just can't. I don't remember your name. I'm sorry.
So I don't think we've been officially introduced. I've only been aboard the ship since the city, and again, thank you for freeing us. I can't tell you what terrible fate would have befallen us otherwise. Lupin Engon is my name.
Lupin.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. Thyxus. It's nice to officially meet you.
I know you. He says, "Well, you're, and I hope you don't take this as an offense. I mean it in the most complimentary way. You're the least terrifying of the officers of this ship."
That is incredibly kind of you.
Thank
you.
That is how it's intended. You seem to be a polite fellow.
Lupin, I always knew it. I just needed someone to give me some just extra encouragement.
Well, yeah, I had hoped to have a conversation with you folks, and the captain seems prone to shoutiness, and
well, Captain, he's got a lot to do. There's a lot on his plate. To captain a ship like this, I mean, I can't imagine. Well, I can a little, but not too much.
He says, "Well, I was hoping to discuss the possibility of kind of like scratches his a little bit of stubble that he's got growing on his cheeks." He says, "Well, I'm not a sailor by trade, and I'm certainly not a fighter of any sort." He says, "But I am kind of a fugitive from the Empire now, and I don't really have family or anything else anywhere in the Five Kingdoms. So it gesture seems like this operation is a pretty tight ship, if you'll pardon the turn of phrase."
I got it. Yes. Well, Lupin, it appears that we have a lot more in common than I think we realize. What is it that you're looking to? What are your skills? What are your traits? What types of things do you bring to the ship?
He says, "Well, normally, I wouldn't be so frank about this conversation, but considering pirates, I feel a little more comfortable explaining my particular trade. It's actually what got me arrested. That had me sent off for indentured servitude, where you guys rescued me from the vents." He says, "I am well, I guess there's no other way to put it. I am a forger by trade. We have made a considerable living copying documents and things of that nature. I unfortunately was uncovered trying to forge a set of documents for someone who had employed my services in the Empire and thrown into jail for it, but it seems like perhaps the type of thing that could be useful to individuals of your station."
I think that would be very useful, Lupin. I'm sorry that things didn't work out too well with you back there in the Empire with all that business. But I could have a conversation with the captain and the other members of the, the crew of the Grimm's Folly and find out if I'm not able to make. I don't want to make this decision on my own, of course. We do have a chain of command here, and want to make sure that I run it by everyone else first. But it sounds like a great skill to have here upon the vessel. And I'll just kind of pat him on the shoulder a little bit. Let me get back to you on that, okay?
He says, "Sure. You know where to find me."
Right.
Boat humor. Nowhere to go.
I cast prestidigitation and make a da-dum-ts in the distance. And as I'm kind of walking away, I just kind of like tap him and I'm like, man, I'm getting arrested for forging papers. I got arrested for walking in an alley.
Walking in
And
an
I
alley.
just walk away.
You leave him and he's like,
And I'll immediately go find the captain.
okay.
Wherever the captain may be. I have no idea where I'm walking.
What time of day is it?
About midday.
I'm probably up, not steering the ship, but like up on that general deck, just kind of hanging out.
Okay.
Hey, Captain.
Yeah.
So that kind of pudgy halfling guy we saved a couple days ago. You know who I'm talking about?
Not really, but go on.
Well, his name's Lupin.
Okay.
Well, I was having a conversation with him. He is, he's very good at forgery. That's his skill set. And I think he's looking for a position here on the ship.
I don't know that we particularly have need of a forger on the ship, but perhaps the name of the pirate island that escapes
Glasgow.
me. Glasgow. He might be better suited on Glasgow.
Well, that's actually a good thought, Captain. I was just thinking, we're kind of dealing with some pretty big stuff currently that involves a lot of, I don't know, upper class, perhaps, maybe, government type people.
We're definitely way out of our element.
We are, Captain. I mean, I've read a lot of books, but I can't forge anything, and I don't know too much about the inner workings of Five Kingdoms government. I mean, I know basic information, but nothing too in-depth.
Yeah, I can't say I know much for government, as I'm not one who normally even has the slightest regard for laws. So,
Maybe we can run it by the rest of the crew and see what they think, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
well, if he's looking for work, yeah, he's probably an island full of scum and villainy is definitely a good place for a forger to be.
I get a real good vibe from this individual, too.
I mean, you probably shouldn't, but I don't know that I want to trust a forger who gives off a good vibe. I want a forger that you're like, that guy gives off the vibe of a forger. He seems like a scumbag, but he'll do a good job.
Captain, I must say, every day I learn something new from you, and it's so valuable.
Apora Dazan, who's like, I think the one steering the ship since Murderbeard was like up there directing, goes like, if I might interject, it seems that a forger who gives off a shifty vibe would not be exceptionally well suited to an illegal business such as forgery. Due to the getting arrested immediately for being super shifty. business.
I'm not saying he should be shifty. I'm just saying you shouldn't be like, yeah, that's a good vibe I get from that guy. Especially when he's telling you he's a forger.
Well, maybe it's like a good vibe in a forger
Did he show
kind
you
of
any
way.
of his work?
Maybe. I don't know. It's just it's weird. It's
Did he show you
No.
any of his work? Because maybe he sucks.
no. I must.
I'm gonna
admit,
need
I
some
must admit,
credentials.
Captain, I was a little blinded by flattery at the time.
Well,
But
God damn it, thanks is what I tell you about letting your heart get in the way of manners.
right. Would you like me to go ask for?
You're just walking around this deck in
well,
those
hey,
pants,
we
listening
just-
to any forger that
we-
talks to you.
We just broke him out of prison. We just saved him from being a slave. Do you think he's going to have his artistic work portfolio ready and available for us?
No, but
to
also maybe there was a
critique?
good reason he was in prison because maybe he was really bad at his job.
Well,
I'm just saying, before I recommend him to the Isle of Glasgow, we're gonna need some credentials.
I've got an idea.
Does it involve a series of elaborate and complicated tests? Because that was my idea.
Actually, it kind of does. Actually, a little bit.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, maybe not as elaborate as what you were thinking, but I do have a lot of documents that are thrown together. Maybe we could see how he does on some of the handwritings that I have acquired.
That's about what I was thinking.
Okay.
Mine may or may not have involved a little bit of fire.
Oh, that can easily be done. Maybe we better ask the rest of the crew too. I feel like
I've been standing out in the sun a little bit too long. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't have the best ideas right now.
I feel like maybe they would shun the use of fire. I just have that sense.
Yeah, maybe we nix the fire bit. Maybe we don't tell anybody that ever.
Let's just save that one. Let's save that one for
It's
later.
not conducive towards a trade that is largely paper-based.
Every time.
I guess you should add steer the ship and peanut gallery to your job description, Nefora.
Yeah, every time Navarro speaks, I imagine it's the camera's focused on Thixus and Murderbeard, and then when Nathara
Like
speaks,
slightly
it like
switches.
switches, and then we're just both looking like, why are you listening to our conversation? All right, I'm gonna go gather some of my materials. Why don't we plan to meet with the rest of the group and talk to them? Maybe when we get to Naporia. I don't know, unless you want to do that right away.
Yeah, I still think that Naporia is the immediate plan.
All right, we'll put it on the agenda for Naporia then.
Okay, so you guys kind of pocket that information for now, and the journey continues onward. Unless anybody else has particular scenes or conversations they'd like to have with any NPCs or fellow players, the rest of your journey proceeds relatively uneventfully. Bye.
You want me to take a long rest real quick? Because
Yeah, plenty of long rests.
Okay,
Let's
okay,
turn
we good.
Victoria on here. After a successful journey with only one minor cannon incident, you guys make your way back to Naporia. Anna Cromwell is able to fix a decent amount of the damage to the ship over that time. You do not have enough material to repair everything. I don't know if you guys have tracked anywhere. Let me I just updated that spreadsheet. I realized that you guys could view it but couldn't edit it. So you guys do now have editing access to the ship document. But you only have enough extra like wood and canvas and things like that on board at the time to repair like most of the damage. So the Grimm's Folly is still a little bit beat up. We have in our log somewhere like how much damage you guys took, and you had about 100 HP worth of damage that you were able to repair with the supplies that you had on board.
Put us at.
I don't have in front of me like where you guys were, like what you were at, but I know you took more than 100 damage.
Yeah.
I have in the notes that after we used all the supplies on the ship, we were at 348 HP. For
Okay,
the ship.
348.
Get us back to full because we're at 400 is our max.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have like your extra hull gives you like overheal essentially. So like your ship is not damaged, but you like, you know, have more like repairs to the armor plating and stuff could be done. You could do an additional 50 repairs or whatever. Okay, cool. But you guys sail back into the harbor at Naporia, passing that central island that has the shrine on it, which you guys will remember your last visit here. A big old golem creature rose up out of the ground with the shrine on its back. Thykes enlarged it and it kaiju style stomped an Ignean ship before speaking.
Such good memories of this place.
Before speaking some cryptic information to Nimue specifically. But you guys are kind of back here. You will remember the two villages there to the sort of the more northern and the more southern are the two little pseudo villages of Kazumo and Hideki. The northern-ish one there, Kazumo, is like closer to stuff sort of at the upper portion of the island that you're probably interested in. The Lunar Warrior School, the seat of the government and stuff is all up there.
Yeah, we probably go there.
But you guys easily like sail back into port with the Grimm's Folly and with the
Sequel on the deck.
The sequel.
Sequel.
She
okay.
made it.
She made it. So you pull into port, no problem, and dock the ship at Naporia.
All right. I think I would send the word to the elders.
Get the dead lady. And we stand around with Nimue.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will you as a refresher, the like 3 elders of Naporia that like run the island here essentially are Nimue's father, Ray, right? I have that right this time. Sick.
G.
And Zen is her younger brother. Ray, who is the martial elder of the island. He runs the Lunar Warrior School. A woman by the name of Minako, who is like the spiritual leader of the island, and the elder Koshiro, the civic, sort of the leader of like the civic portion of the island. You guys send word. Somebody like comes and meets you at the dock. They recognize the Grimm's Folly coming back, and go tell the leaders that we're here. It is not long before a messenger comes back, telling you guys that the 3 elders will meet you post haste at the Lunar Warrior School.
Okay. I think we should take the body with us.
Yeah, I want to cover her
Yeah.
very respectfully, so like,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to carry her as carefully as I
Okay.
Okay. You guys do that. Is somebody just like physically carrying this body, or are you like?
If could I find like a small cart or something that we could like
Yeah, easily.
put her on, so it's like just easier.
That's fine.
And that way, like the sides of the cart could like hide. I know she's covered, but like I don't want kids and stuff to see.
Don't want it to be obvious that we're carrying
Yeah.
a body through.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy enough. You guys, you know, kind of travel up through the city. Some folks, you know, wave to you and greet you guys on the way past Nimue. Obviously, you know, a lot of these people know you. You know them. You guys were here, you know, a few weeks ago. You're a big hit at the festival at the time. Obviously, you were involved in not necessarily saving the island, but certainly like you were heroes of the day at the ceremony where the Invarians tried to kidnap / kill a bunch of lunar warrior or a bunch of hopefuls for you know, for the ceremony of you know, seeing if they would be soul touched to Cal, you know, be Kalishtar. So you guys, you know, make your way through the little village of Kazumo with you know, people greeting you and things. You head up towards the upper rises of the crescent-shaped island, traversing the switchback trails that bring you in higher elevation to the flattened off area where the sprawling Lunar Warrior Training School is established. You guys are led back in the courtyard. You guys I presume like leave the, you know, like leave the cart. Somebody's there who can kind of like hey, watch this, stay here, and then someone will keep watch on that so that you guys can go deeper in. You head into the, you know, into the buildings. Those like the cultural idiocy is showing, but those like paper sliding doors, you know, they like shift those, and so you guys can move deeper in. And you head to a chamber that you have been in before when you were here. It's sort of like a, you know, it's a little meeting chamber. The three village elders have gathered. They are sitting on you know, fold-legged on cushions on the other side of a recessed little brazier type pit in the center of the room. Minako gestures for you guys to come in and take a seat as you enter, and Dr. Koshiro says, "So you return to us. Oh, what
Not-
news do you bring?"
A fallen lunar warrior.
Your father kind of like straightens, you know, even his already like straight spine like straightens up more, and he says, "What happened?"
She was mortally wounded, but she killed the one that had done the atrocities.
"You have brought her home."
I did.
He turns, and like an attendant kind of like rushes up, and he quickly says,
Botan-san.
Hmm.
That's who it is. Botan.
He nods. He says, "Go. See to her. Make the preparations." And the person leaves. And he says, "There is more to your story, I imagine. What did you learn within the Ignean city?"
It's as I feared. They are taking lunar warriors and experimenting on them to create weapons for the war.
War. The three elders like kind of turn towards each other and
They
exchange.
have an armada. They're massing more troops. Already so many. And yet they still look for stronger weapons.
You are certain of what you have seen.
Captain, want to tell them what we saw?
Murder. I guess to the best of his ability, Murderbeard will try and give the full description of what was going down in there.
So you describe.
I want them to hear it from like all of us to be like, it's not just me. Like I didn't just like make shit up.
Yeah, they don't seem to disbelieve you guys as you're telling them this. They're definitely kind of trying to like take in the scope of this. Hachiro, no, Hachiro is the weapon master. Koshiro. He says, a fleet of such size cannot be intended for Naporia. Their quarrel must be with Midlinde, or...
That may be true, but they've already taken 4 of our own that I know of.
Ray says, their aggression against Naporia is not in question. They tried to strike us here, in our own home. And now you say that they have been taking others from across the 5 kingdoms. This is a transgression that will not go unanswered. But we are a small nation. We have no standing military. A fleet of the size that you describe, they could send a fraction of it to occupy our harbor, and there would be nothing we could do.
Then maybe we need to find allies.
He nods. There is much that will need to be considered. He looks to Minako and he says, we will discuss what is to be done further in private, but first, it is appropriate that we pay our tributes and our respects and send our fallen sister home properly. And Minako kind of nods. She says, yes, it will be done. Koshiro says to you guys, what is your plan after this?
Well, we acquired some documentation from the man responsible. We plan to take that documentation to Terra Libra and hopefully get it translated and decoded. Maybe it'll give us more information on where they were sent, what they have accomplished so far, who else is at risk. We need more information. We have someone that can take us there quickly. If it is okay, I would like to leave our ship here as we are teleported there and back.
Your father says, the Ordinem Librae are wise group to approach. They are powerful, they hold sway, and they are above all neutral to the plights of the kingdoms.
Well, I don't know if they'll be neutral anymore because they kidnapped a couple of their members. The guy. So.
He says, all the more reason. He says, towards Koshiro, he says, perhaps Naporia should send its own envoy to the bookkeepers. He says, in the meantime, your vessel can stay here, but not openly in the harbor. As your captain has explained, you are well known to the Ignian now. They have seen your ship. Should more come here, until other preparations can be made, the only hope for Naporia is to avoid incurring direct military response from the Empire. To find your ship in the harbor here would spell certain doom for us. We will hide it around the far side of the island.
If that's the case, do you mind some of our crew staying here in the city?
He said, I would prefer it.
Thank you.
Minako says, is there anything else you need to tell us?
Out of character, is there? Christy can't remember.
Y'all got diamonds?
Yeah, oh yeah. If they ask like, hey, do you want a reward? If we can be like, so do you guys like have diamonds? Because I can revivify. But also you don't have to do that.
I mean, if we're needing supplies, it's a fair ask. The worst
I
can
figured
say
we
is
could be
no.
like, hey, we can maybe do better next time if you give us diamonds. Y'all got diamonds?
So asking for
Y'all
the
got
ship-
diamonds on your phone?
ship
For
supplies.
healing spells. I clarify.
It's for healing. We don't just want diamonds. But also, if you got extra diamonds, take them.
I do not think they have diamonds.
I don't think we do.
It was worth a try, you guys.
It was worth a try.
They will.
I guess I could ask for resupplying in the ship when we leave.
Supply. They will provide you the resources to finish repairing the ship and,
Cool.
and resupply you guys.
Cool.
They cannot replace your cannon. They don't have a. But in terms of like basic supplies, they can refresh that. They can also provide you with provisions and with medicine, if so needed. You guys have, you have access to your cargo thing there. You have room in your cargo hold. So, I'll leave that up to you guys as to like how many units of these various things you guys want to take.
Okay.
If you want to fill your cargo hold completely with various amounts of these, you can. Just keeping in mind, like,
Oh,
if
that'd
you
be great. I'd be like eating home cooked meals. Hell yeah.
if you do, like, if you fill your cargo capacity though, like, and you come across some sort of a situation where there is like plunder to be had, you're gonna have to like dump things to take on additional cargo. So just keep that in mind when like.
Gotcha.
That's what you think.
Well then why don't we why don't we
Shoveling food into our faces.
What do you think, Nick?
Why don't we get enough of the basic supplies to get back up, like, to, like, maybe if we have a total of 7 or 8, because with the repairs that we did, we were down to 2.
Yeah.
And then, medicine, we have healers, like, I'm not concerned with having that, like, they'll be fine for a couple
Probably
days
just
while we're
food
gone.
and then
Yeah,
basic
food
supplies.
and supplies. And cannonballs.
Cannonballs.
Would they have cannonballs if we don't have?
They don't have
them
cannonballs.
cannon?
Oh,
They can
do they have
supply you.
gunpowder?
They can supply you with like crossbow bolts and stuff like that.
I
Like
can't
bolt-
figure out how to
I
make a
mean-
cannonball.
Nimue gonna get a proper bow and arrow and arrows.
They could
Oh
probably.
yeah, she's gonna get one of those Yumi where you go like.
Hell yeah.
In the time that you have here, I don't think. I mean, like, Hachiro can like figure it out, but like molds and stuff are
make
gonna
it
have to be
metal?
made for cannonballs. They don't have gunpowder,
Mm.
so like given enough time, they could create the tools that they need to make a cannonball. But
But we don't know how long we're gonna be gone for.
you're talking like it might be a few weeks before he can like potentially start making cannonball, at least like the cannonball.
And maybe we should
We
just
probably
get.
have to go to Glasgow anyway.
Let's get 5 more basic supplies and 5 more provisions if we can. If they can give us that, then I think we should get that.
Yeah, they can.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's fine.
that's a good idea.
Okay, then that puts
You're
us
already
at
in there?
total 7 basic supplies and 10 provisions. So these people better be, they're good. They're gonna get fat while we're gone.
Alrighty. Listen here. Put that page out. Okay. So if you guys have like nothing else with them, they
I
they
have something.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I have one thing with my father, like privately.
So for like the group meeting portion of this, they basically say like, we have to, we have to start doing, leader of this island stuff and making plans and things like that. Like, thank you for this information. We'll we need to start planning. So like, if you guys don't have anything else, like, you're dismissed so that we can start these things. And as the others file out, and Ray kind of like nods to the other 2 elders, and just kind of like mutters like, I will be right behind you. I will catch up. Go. He waits behind, and he is the 2 of you are now like alone in this chamber. Never mind.
The first thing I say to him, just so you know, one of Akiko-san's last words were for you. She wanted me to thank you for all of your training, because it was that training that kept her whole.
He's quiet for a while. He kind of takes this in.
I'm just gonna hug him. I don't give a fuck.
He puts he kind of gives you like a one-armed sort of around.
Yeah.
You can tell he's sort of like
Processing.
and eventually he just says, I will remember that. Thank you.
What you do is important, Father. I know that. I don't always show it, but I know. That being said, I do have a favor to ask, and I'm not just saying this to butter you up, like it's true, but I do have a favor to ask.
What is it?
See, there's these twins on the ship. Really young. I've been training them, as you trained me. They've gone through a lot. They were also slaves. They were trafficked. I've learned recently that the little girl saw her parents murdered. She aims to be strong enough to take her vengeance. My request, Father, is you allow them to train while I'm gone, because I won't be there to maintain it. I know they are not Napoleon, but I have taken them as my own. At least for now. I ask that you treat them like family.
He says, I will take them, and they
Thank
will.
you.
He
I hug
pulls-
him more because I was really worried he was going to say no.
You kind of hug him, but he hugs you back briefly, but he like kind of distances you again from him. And he looks at you and he says, "But understand, if I am to teach them, they will learn the ways of the Lunar Warrior. Revenge."
The boy might struggle a little bit, but she's totally on track.
He says,
She'll do it.
"We strive for balance.
I know.
If
She
she
needs
is
that right
motivated
now.
by the desire for revenge, she will never be a true Lunar Warrior until
I
she
know.
can let this go."
I agree. And that's why I'm hoping some time here, away from me, in the true setting of training, I'm hoping she will find that balance again. At least a start for it. I want to give her the chance at least to try.
He nods and he says, "Very well.
Thank you.
I will train them." And before you go, he says, "Nimue,
Mm.
you said that the Ignians have taken others.
Yeah.
Do you think he was among them?"
If it's not him, it's someone that looks a lot like him.
He just sort of like nods,
But if it's
like,
him,
a little too long. Just like
he's still alive.
he says, "Very well. You
There is one more thing I didn't tell the elders.
Hmm.
The experiments. If they work, they intensify the spiritual connection and it is so strong. But if it fails, it kills the spirit.
He says,
I will leave that up to you if you wish to share that, but
he says, "I will have to discuss this with Minako. He says,
figured.
it is not my area of knowledge.
I figured.
She will have more thoughts on this."
I just didn't want it to spread.
He nods. He says, "Very well."
Okay. I'll take a bow and I'm going to leave if I'm a party and try not to cry about it.
Okay. You head back outside. You find the rest of the group. You guys are kind of like in the courtyard there. They came and did take the took the body away to be prepared and things like that. And you guys are kind of on your own at this point. What are your plans? What are you doing?
I guess we go talk to the lady that's gonna take us. I don't know.
Aora.
Yeah. Right?
Murderbeard, if possible, would like to, as soon as that conversation was done, slip in to talk to Ray himself.
Oh,
shit.
interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh shit! All right. No, my guy's like, all right.
You probably catch him because Nimue sort of comes out and so you're sort of lurking nearby. You hear him go out the other side of the room, so you kind of go around a little bit and you catch up with him as he's walking deeper towards the other end, the back essentially of this this place. And he kind of turns as he hears you coming and slows up his pace, and kind of looks down, down to your level, and he says, "Captain, something additional that I can do for you."
I just need a moment of your time.
You have earned at least that much.
I've been following as the situation has developed. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you that, from one father to another, as long as I draw breath, I will make sure that nothing that has been happening to the other Lunar warriors happens to Nimue.
He kind of looks at you for a while, and you see like a few different, like, it's almost like he kind of like cycles through a couple of different responses before he settles on he settles on, if there is one thing I know of my daughter, it is that everyone would already have to be dead before she would submit to being taken in such a manner. She has a will such as I have never been able to tame. Hundreds of lunar warriors have passed through my halls. I have helped to mold them. He sort of he smiles a little. He says, nevertheless, it is always better to fight with a friendly sword at your side than alone. A lesson that perhaps she has finally begun to learn. For that you have my thanks. And it comforts me to know that there are those who would fight by her side against even these odds.
Well, I haven't traveled with her long, but I think you're pretty right about that everybody having to be dead thing. Although, here's hoping it doesn't come to that. And then Murderbeard pulls a flask out of his beard and is like... and then leaves.
Okay, you guys are kind of gathered in the courtyard. Murderbeard comes out from like a different passage, like a few moments after Nimue, and you're all together again.
I went looking for the washroom and got lost.
Did you go?
I mean, I went. I don't know if it was in the
Where?
right room or not, but I went.
Okay, well, let's leave before we get caught then.
All right, where you guys headed?
I guess to the lady.
Back to the ship.
Yeah, that's where everybody's at.
Okay. You guys head back to the ship. As you guys get down back to the docks at the village of Cosimo, you can already hear from like the end of the docks, like all the way down to where the Grimm's Folly. You can already hear like a big old commotion kicked up down by the ship.
Uh
But you
oh.
can't kind of see what's going on yet.
We walk faster to try and perceive.
Yeah, we all like, oh god.
Okay, you approach. You kind of like make your way down to where the Grimm's Folly is moored. A handful of like dock workers and just like folks who are here. They're kind of like gathered in this area, backed well away. You see a whole bunch of like the crew of the Grimm's Folly are like lined along the rail, like kind of like looking down on the dock. And on the dock, you see McCrawl, standing with his back to you guys, facing like out, towards the end of the dock. And he is standing like arms folded across his chest like this, legs kind of like planted, wide in like a balanced stance. And that like 2x4 that he took from the, no, he got rid of that. He doesn't have that anymore. He's got another like piece of wood from somewhere though. It's just sort of like leaning against his like thigh. And across from him, there are a handful of his warriors. Most of them are like kind of off to the sides, but there is a trio of them that are like maybe 10 feet from him, and like stood off against him. One of them is in like the middle with the other two flanking behind him. And the one who's like in the middle kind of has his like chin jutted out, his lower tusks are like protruding, and he for those of you that speak Orcish, you hear him finish saying something as you guys roll up that sounds that basically is,
"You would deny us this. A shame to our Rocklaw."
And McCrawl, for his part, like doesn't move, and he just says,
"That is not why we are here."
what are you guys doing? They look very much, I will say, even without like any perception checks or whatever, like they look very much like these three orcs are about to like
Yeah,
charge at McCrawl.
I will
I'm
approach.
looking at Nimue. Yeah, I don't think any of us know what happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna translate as best I can to my party as I'm heading towards McCraw.
Wait, like they're going to try to pillage Naporia?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. And Rowan like follows Nimue with her hand on her blade, like ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm going up too.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling it, but I'm just kind of ready.
Lexus would be very confused just following behind.
Okay, so you guys just come up and you kind of like taking aggressive stances. The other three like kind of orcs look and sort of see you coming. The one in the lead of the trio says in Orcish to McCrawl. He says,
"You are the chieftain, and we follow you. But here,"
and he points like kind of deeper into the island, like behind McCrawl, behind you guys. He says,
"Here is our chance to come here and leave. We would be shamed. You would have that of us."
and McCrawl just says,
"I will not be challenged. Make your move, or walk away, Gognach."
and I'll make a intimidation check for McCrawl against this other orc. Okay. The other orc that McCrawl referred to as Gugnach, kind of stares at McCrawl, looks at you guys, like not doing anything yet, but like clearly like ready to throw down if a throwdown happens. And in Orcish, he just says, He just says,
We will speak of this more, chieftain. You will dishonor and shame the Rookloch of every bull who follows you.
and the three of them like stomp back up the gangplank onto the ship. The other orcs kind of like mill about a little bit and kind of like break up, and everything sort of like begin to diffuse.
I was gonna say in Orcish, loud enough for them to hear as they're walking away. I'm like, I was going to say you're welcome to stay for dinner and stuff as our guest, but if you're going to be grumpy, you don't get good Napoleon food.
They seem to ignore this, and or at least the trio that like they ignore this and they stomp back. At least a couple of the orcs who are on the sideline kind of seem like, oh,
Oh.
they're like, oh man. McCraw like turns around to you guys as you
Sorry.
approach, and he says,
No.
here it is. This is an orcish to you.
Yeah, I'm also an Orcish.
He says,
No. It is I who apologize to you. They are unruly and young.
You should probably tell them, like, we have a bunch of lunar warriors here that would kick their asses.
He says that is what they want.
They want to die by them?
he kind of like rubs his temples. He says,
What do you know of my people's culture?
A little bit, not much, honestly. I have a vague idea. But I was hopeful that if we get you the medicine you need, you guys will have a second chance.
he says,
It is complicated, but how to explain without giving you a lesson on our beliefs?
They'd rather die with honor than scrounge.
he says,
The Orcish people, we believe in the Rookloch, in your tongue, the spirit of the warrior. We believe that
this, and he sort of like thumps on his own like chest.
This vessel that we wear merely contains our Rookloch. Each Orcish warrior spends his or her life strengthening and testing the Rookloch. That when he or she dies, it will be judged by our gods. And if found to be strong enough, the Rookloch may pass on to the hunting grounds in the beyond.
Yeah, this is sounding more and more familiar to me.
He says a Rookloch found wanting are returned to this world to live again until they become strong enough to be worthy.
He says,
They have seen you fight. They know that there are more like you here. They wish to test themselves against your fighters.
he nods towards. He says,
Gugnak and his compatriots believe that to come here to this place and leave without pitting themselves would be tantamount to an act of cowardice. They believe it would stain and weaken their Rookloch.
You're right, that is complicated, huh?
he just shakes his head and he says,
I will keep it under control. This is... At least for now, I am chieftain, and they will not defy me.
I'll give you guys some Napoleon food while we're gone, and maybe that'll change their mind.
He kind of chuckles a little. He says,
I doubt it, but I am hungry.
Alright, just clap him on his shoulder, turn around and translate what the hell just happened to my party. I'm like, it's all fine, guys.
Just
It
listen
was
to 2
like a
minutes.
warrior problem.
And then it translates for you.
We're fine.
Okay, listen. I have been meaning to ask this for like literal weeks. Like weeks and weeks, and I keep forgetting every single time because I have the attention span of a goldfish. In the downtime that we were on the boat getting to Naporia, could Scylla have made some healing potions with her herbalism kit? Is that a thing that I could do?
Make a nature check for me. Or I guess an herbalism kit check.
The herbalism kit, yeah, I have proficiency.
Wisdom plus
so-
proficiency, yeah.
Yeah. Well, nature is intelligence. So should I use wisdom or should I use intelligence?
If this is like a tool proficiency with that herbalism kit, use whatever skill is associated with that.
There isn't one specifically.
Yeah,
it's
tools are
just-
weird.
It's you basically like you have proficiency and then you can choose whether you do like which like strength dex like which one you use.
So I think for this, I think it makes sense to let you use your primary druid stat, right? Like, if you were using like baby's first chemistry set and trying to make a healing potion like alchemy out of wizard shit, that would be like that. Like intelligence makes sense, but like this is druidic magic, right? You're making druidic style healing potions. So I think it makes sense to use that skill for this check.
Okay. That is 16, 17, 18.
18. Alrighty. So we're gonna have to probably codify this at some point. So that we
There's like a doc. It's a thing. There's a thing.
Okay, so if you
Because
have
I
a
know
thing
that
that tells you like
Yeah.
how many you're able to make and like basically I want to figure out like based on this check how many of these potions can you make and how much of your like resources does it deplete to do so.
Yeah, I'll send it in the chat later, but I just wanted to make sure that I put it out there finally
You
that
have-
I'm making these dang potions.
We have Schrodinger's potions. You have made some amount of potions, and the potions are either made or not made, and we won't know until you open the box later and see how many are in there.
Yeah.
But yes, that is fine. All right. So after all of this kind of takes place, you guys are going up onto the deck, and you are seeking out Aora Vesta, right? She's the Ordinum. She's the Elven Ordinum.
Yeah.
person. Okay. You sort of seek her out, and she says, "Is it acceptable to the Neprorians that I send word to the bookkeepers?"
Yes, it's okay. I'll let them know what we're doing.
She says, "Very good. Then I can send a messenger sparrow." Did you guys send yours to Blackwell already?
Scylla did, I think, with her spell.
Scylla used her spell to communicate with Blackwell? Okay.
Mhm.
Then she will use the messenger sparrow seabirds that you guys have to send a message to Terra Libra. The message that she sends is in sort of like a code. From what you guys can tell, like she'll do it like in front of you guys, if you will. But it's she basically says like she tells them like this is field agent, field office enclave operator Aora Vesta, and I am sending a message. I have important business that must be attended to. I am requesting that a recovery team be sent to the locations that I will provide with coordinates in this spiral. And it is of utmost imperative to the safety of the ordinary Bri and of perhaps the kingdom at all that this be done with all of post haste. And then she like rattles off a like a latitude and longitude that you guys recognize to be like, you know, Naporia. She probably used Murderbeard's maps to get it. And then there is like a bunch of like what you take to be like code phrases that she says at the end, because they're like, it's like the grapefruit flies are done, and I like dark chocolate but not on my muffins, and like stuff like that. It doesn't seem to make sense. And you know, as it's completed, she says, "This will let them know that this message is valid and it is not being done under duress of any nature." She says, "She says, well, you don't want to see." They will send a recovery team with a spellcaster capable of teleporting the people that we need back to Terra Libra. You do not want to see the people that they send. If I had given them the different code phrase, that had meant I was being held against my will. They are not very nice, and they have a reputation for... Says, have you ever heard the phrase, I did not ask how big the room is, I said I cast fireball? That is... that comes from them. It is... They are
we all just look at Lexus.
So the message has been sent off to Terra Libra. You guys know that it is going to take that message some time. Messenger sparrows are a little tricky. They're magical, so they don't. It's not like a physical, bird. It literally will just like fly unending in the direction of its message, and it is much faster than like a normal real creature would be. It does still have to like cover that distance, so it's probably going to take about 2 weeks for it to get from here to Terra Libra.
Oh shit.
So you guys are gonna have like some time here on the island.
We got some downtime. You can
have
make more potions.
And make so many potions.
So many potions.
That being the case, what do you guys want to do with downtime? You have some, theoretically you have up to 2 weeks, or have 2 weeks at minimum, depending on how quickly you're gonna like respond. What do you want to do here on Naboria?
Oh boy. I would definitely get the twin
Naboria
set up.
adjacent. Like, you have a boat, you can...
That is true.
You don't have to stay
I'd
here.
probably get the twin set up though. Like I give them a place to stay
and
and
to do.
yeah. Get Ogatumbe all set up in there too.
We're not close to Glasgow, right?
You're close-ish to Glasgow. I'm trying to remember what the...
I think
what
it
the
took us,
distance is.
4 to 6 days of
You are,
sea travel?
theoretically, you are like close enough that I think with like 2 full weeks, you could get to Glasgow and back, if you make decent time.
Murderbeard would be interested in doing that. If anyone
Okay.
wants to come along on that adventure.
Sela's making a face like Sela doesn't want to go to Glasgow.
More like
You don't
Victoria's like,
You don't
Wait,
all have
like-
to go. You guys can. Some
Yeah,
people.
there's just
can
certain
stay
That's
here.
things
true.
that need to be done.
Well,
on
what do you need to get done? Would you bring that up to the party?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna. First of all, it would help us resupply the supplies we don't have.
Not
oh yeah, the
true.
cannon.
The cannon.
We're gonna see about that forger guy.
Oh god, okay.
And 3, probably talk to Captain Thorn. It's probably not a bad idea.
I think Scylla will stay behind from that, and I will say what I'm gonna do after all these decisions are made.
Speaking of Forger, Scylla, Nimue, and Rowan, how do you feel about getting a good vibe from someone who got arrested for forgery?
What is that? What do you mean the vibe?
I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it.
This is the biggest character upset I think we've had in the show so far. Is that Victoria has made the character decision that her character Scylla doesn't know what a vibe is.
Scylla doesn't know what a vibe
Like, my
is, but she
world is
vibe
rocked
checks.
right now.
She vibe checks everybody, but she doesn't know what a vibe is.
without knowing. I love it. What's a vibe?
I guess like it's a feeling. I don't know.
You're following your
optimistic-
instincts. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Optimistic view.
I mean, if your gut's telling you something's good, like listen to it.
Alexis, you should do what your intuition and your instinct tells you. The first thought that you have
Ooh.
about something is usually the right one. And that's
Hey,
why
that
animals
sounds-
survive natural disasters and humanoids don't, because animals just listen to their senses and they run. So if you feel like you had a good feeling from this person, then he's probably a good person. What does him being a forger have to do with anything about him being good or not?
Good point.
If you overthink it, you'll forget and lose your initial feeling. So just focus on that.
Okay.
Rowan, are you gonna point him on me? Alert going off.
I'm just gonna look at all of us and go, well, technically we're all pirates and we're not terrible people. So what somebody calls themselves or what they appear to be isn't always what the truth is. I mean, and she kind of like motions to herself and then motions at the ship. Like, it's if you feel good about him, and as long as Captain thinks it's a good idea for him to go to Glasgow and to find work there, then I'm all for helping the people we got out of cages figure out their next step. So,
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm just not sure that we should just kind of drop him off at Glasgow. I don't know if maybe his skill of forgery might be useful for us in the future. I don't
Oh, I see.
know.
You're not sure if you want to give up the goods, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
We look at this, and I point like to the ship, and after that, just mass chaos that just happened again upon our vessel. We haven't been doing well with what's the word?
Being nice to people?
I don't think that's it. I think it's like we have a bunch of people from a bunch of different viewpoints smashed onto a vessel together without having ways to communicate in a neutral. I don't know how to say this.
It's like cultural clash.
That's what I'm feeling right now. We're gonna.
I mean, that's
We just kind of threw everybody onto a vessel very quickly and expected them to all get along, right?
I don't think they need to get along per
I-
se.
Somebody's going to try to kill somebody on this boat here before too long. I just have a feeling.
I mean, yeah, I think
Already
that kind of
happened.
already happened. Like this.
Yeah, we've
Well,
already-
it was. I guess
It could have
they-
been
yeah.
worse. Yes.
It
Yeah.
could have been
you're
worse.
right.
Yo, we beat up a
You're
little girl like 3 days ago. You don't remember that?
And we did like manhandle. We were kind of racist. Let's be honest here.
We have
we need
baby
to have-
shackles? Are we the bad guys?
Are we
She
the
said that
baddies?
she wants to kill all of us, which I
She
respect.
does want
to
to
be
kill.
fair, yeah,
she
she
does
wants
want
to
to
kill
kill
all
all
of
of
it. It's
us.
kind of great.
And-
Muddy
and
Maybe we
waters.
should not have
But
her
too,
with
with
us
the
anymore.
cannon incident, we still don't really know.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
I mean, we have our intuition, but we still don't really know what caused that hole. And I
Mhm.
still have my own suspicions, but
well, what are your suspicions? Other than
I
the
don't know.
girl we already threw into a wall.
can we really trust anyone?
No.
Probably not.
Lexus, was it you?
Oh,
I
come
get
on.
I get really close up to his face, and I do once again. I just grab him by the chin and I like peel his eyes up. Hold on, let me insight check him.
You mean vibe check him?
Vibe check.
Wait, the person who didn't know what vibe was is vibe checking me.
I'm vibe checking. I rolled a 22, and vibe checking did Thixus do it, Michael.
I will auto roll and not get anything on a deception check because it would be hideous if I tried to roll.
I feel like I don't actually need to make a check, but I did it because I wanted to roll a die. He didn't do it.
Okay, just checking.
Look at these arms. You actually think I'd be able to cut through that rope even with a knife?
Like this, you're strong. Don't say
yourself
that.
short. Come on.
That time that we had that show of strength on the ship, I cast reduce on the weight. I apologize. I cheated.
Okay, Thixus. We knew.
Flashback to Thixus with like a teeny tiny barbell. Like, guys,
Look!
But he's
I'm
still
doing it!
He's
I'm
still
doing
like,
it!
He's still like.
100 reps.
Thixus, I think if you feel that there could be some value down the line in having this forger, then why not keep them? Can he pull his own weight on the ship?
I know the captain wants to get some things done in Glasgow, so I think I'm gonna go with him just to
Alright.
help out if I can.
What is he getting done?
Well, I think he wants to talk to some of the higher ups over there just to make sure that they're aware of what's going on.
Talking to Thorn.
Even though that we sent a message, it might be
No, it's probably a good idea.
beneficial to make sure that they understand the scope.
And you guys can get properly resupplied and fixed up.
Yeah, I have to replace a cannon.
Yes, you do.
Actually, I'm gonna make Movar pay for most of it.
Wow. That's between you guys, man.
Yeah, don't tell him that yet.
Okay.
I take out what I don't know. I probably have like
I just look at you. I look at you guys and say, "I have a spell for that." But anyway,
I give Thixus my money pouch. I give Thixus my money pouch. It has 59 gold in it.
Nice.
But 9 of them are Igni and Regals, so that means
where did you get all this?
I have been saving it. Sometimes I find them on the ground or when in the strangest places.
They just rain down sometimes. They come out of
I also
nowhere.
don't really have a use for it, so I kind of just hold on to it.
This is incredible. This should definitely help. Thank you.
Get a nice cannon.
I really need to be on the lookout. If this gold is falling from the sky, I've been
You know,
working. I've been
like,
working too
just-
hard. Like I
Lexus, check your pockets.
Well,
oh whoa! There's
no, Thixus.
there's 10 gold.
No,
You were right.
that's for me. Thixus, look, that's not 10 gold. Thixus, that's a rock. Look under this
Oh.
board here.
Oh, Scylla, you're right.
I got beaten to it.
Again, I got
You know, this is why Thixus. This is when
How
if
did that rock get in my pocket?
if you spend time thanking the spirits of the world, then they will reward you. Unfortunately, they reward me in gold that I don't use or want. So
It's
Like, you check your other pockets. You
he's
checked the wrong
gone.
ones.
I will
check,
take all the gold Tina doesn't
check your
want.
other pocket.
Oh. How did you know that was in my other pocket, Nimue?
I know things.
Rowan's just
not-
sitting here watching
That's
all of
definitely
this.
finding new 5 gold or the same gold he already has if it's already in his
Anyway,
Thanks, I found your whole wallet.
All right. Well, why don't you guys have a boys' trip? Go have fun. Be safe. We'll chill here. We'll chill here.
same goes to all of you. If you need us for any reason,
Yeah, we'll send
Send
you a
it-
message.
send a message.
Anything anybody wants us to
Oh,
procure for them on pirate
The little
land?
girl. Willow. Was that her
yeah,
name?
go
Why
check
am I-
on her.
You want
Also,
us to
I'm going
procure
to
a girl.
need-
Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
Girl.
Yeah, the little girl.
Una's adopted child
I was
lives in the
gonna say
mansion
I
all
don't
creepy.
think
I was
Rutabaga's
told-
gonna fit on the
it's
ship.
fine.
Oh, day since a rutabaga joke. Back down to 0.
Oh no,
We've been a long time. What was it at?
a while.
I stopped
It was so long he stopped counting. So I tell you, it was.
We do have the ring. One of you boys can take the ring.
I'll take it.
Okay.
It's
There you go.
Like, just can't be trusted with his own pockets. I'll take it.
So Nimue has one, and Scylla will give her other one to Murderbeard.
Captain, that was pretty good. I didn't know you had my wallet.
That's the secret. I always have your wallet.
Oh, Phyxis, while you're there, can you stop by the herbalist and pick up more supplies for making healing potions in case
You
my
better make a
Schrodinger's
list. We're gonna
potions
forget.
are used up all my supplies? TBD.
Right. I'll be honest. I know a lot about the arcane arts and such. Not so much about herbalism. Could you get me a list?
Hold on. I take out like a piece of driftwood and I just
Let's
carve.
make a shopping list.
I carve something
have-
on it in giant, and I give it to you.
I have parchment. It's right here. I got a lot of it. But okay, it's okay. It's okay. Just the wood will be fine. Thank you.
Scratch up on some wood.
Captain, I don't understand anything that's written on this. Can you read this?
Well, I'm not sure what language this is.
It's in giant, because Furbolg speak giant.
Okay, well maybe I could just take it and just give it to somebody.
Thanks,
and they just
Sela.
go-
This will be a big help. Murderbeard's like,
Give it
as soon as
Thera.
she's not looking, he's like,
Can you shut up? Thera will know what it says. It doesn't matter if you know what it says.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll get it done. I'll take care of it for you. No problem.
Ugh. It's just supplies for potions.
Sure. Absolutely.
there should be some weird crap on this list, isn't there?
Could not hear you.
I have no idea.
you're
I
so
can't read it.
Oh,
No.
I will get a little like Napoleon like little symbol that we have, like the little clasp, and I will give it to I guess Murderbeard, because you're gonna go see the little girl in the little creepy house.
Yep.
Give her this.
Oh, we're
So
gonna
she
do
has
that
something
too.
to put another
Oh.
trinket. Tell her it's from me.
Alrighty, so Murderbeard and Thysis are going to Glasgow with the Grimm's Folly. Sela is staying here and doing something which we haven't talked about yet. Rowan and Nimue, what are you guys doing?
I'm staying here.
Nimue is staying here.
I'm kind of don't trust them on the ship alone, but I want them to have some bonding time, so I'm gonna stay with the girls on Naporia and
I
let
mean, the
men-
smarter option was you going with them, but let's be honest here, it's gonna be way funnier.
It's gonna be more fun if they go without
Yeah.
me trying
2
to.
days later, Nimue's gonna get a message ring that just says, Nimue, we crashed the boat.
Fuck.
Come pick us up.
Boat ran out of gas. Yes.
Like just tried to drive with his pants, crashed the boat. Send help.
Aora Vesta would like to stay on Naporia. As would McCrawl and his dudes.
Mm.
There is still like the brewing of like they want to go like do battle against the Lunar Warriors. And he basically like his reasoning is like I can keep stalling them for now, like as long as they're here. If like you guys try to take the boat with them on it, and like
Yeah.
like okay, we're leaving, then like we're gonna have to deal with this right now. So his reasoning is kind of like, let's continue to like try and keep the peace as long as possible.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So the group of them are gonna go. You guys do have so Lupin, Camilla, and Eric are the name of the three like people that you brought. Eric Dolrandson is the human of the people that you brought from the Empire. Camilla Drek is a half elf. She is aboard the Groom's Folly, and then Lupin is the halfling. The three of them would like to stay on Naporia. Or actually, the two of them would. Lupin.
Say we want to take that one dude.
Yeah, you want to take Lupin.
To go with the ship. But Camilla and Eric would like to just stay here. You guys do currently have a drow. I don't know if you remember that. You do have a drow mercenary on the boat.
We
Wait, what?
We
Dude,
tied them up and put them on down below because
he's down in your brig.
Oh,
He's been in your
they were the
for a
ones that were
while.
attacking the
listen,
sequel.
I feel like we should just let the Sahagin
drow?
girl eat. Yeah, let her eat him.
Oh my god.
What else are we gonna do with him, guys? What else are we...
Yeah, he
Also,
doesn't
not
really.
gonna leave the Sahagin girl on the ship. She can stay in Naporia prison if she wants.
I don't think she particularly
That-
wants to stay. She's not in prison on the boat either.
Or whatever.
I think I should leave her on the boat so that she's not loosed on an island full of
Yeah,
innocents.
let's just leave her on the boat.
Yeah,
Because
leave her on
then
the
she's
boat.
contained.
Children.
Cool, so she's with us on a low-staffed boat. This boat is never coming back.
Well, you know, you guys can figure it out.
You've mostly you've gotten some of the officers are not coming, and a bunch of your tag along people are not coming, but the entire rest of the crew will still be on the ship.
Yeah.
It's not like you and Thykes are it's just the two of you operating the ship by yourself into the sunset. The whole crew is still there.
Captain, why don't you also keep the prisoner on the ship with you and then let him face justice on Glasgow?
That's true.
Or feed him to the Sahagin
Whichever
girl.
comes first.
Well,
And
I mean, pirate justice.
Justice might end up being fed to sharks, right? Is
that's
that how
fine. That's
Yeah,
their call to
yeah.
make, though. It's not on us. It's on them. I'm just saying, let somebody else
So-
make the call. And I go over to Thixus real quick, and I go, here. I give him a couple of my gold as well, and I say, go back to the general store and get another healer's kit if you can, or just more supplies for it since I used a few.
healer's kit? Okay, yes.
'Cause that'll
Did you find this gold out of the sky?
some of it, yes.
Okay.
Oh, see if they have diamonds.
Oh yeah, diamonds.
I mean, they're
spells.
a pirate island. They definitely have diamonds. Whether or not
Alright.
they're willing to part with them is a different story.
You
Well,
need
if you
three-
explain
Those might be
what's
kind
his
of
face-
expensive, and I don't know
Yeah,
if I
you
have
need-
enough.
You'll need 300 gold pieces worth
And-
of diamonds if you want me to pull
I
your
didn't
spirit
s-
back to your
and-
body.
And I don't know
didn't
how
say
much
we were gonna buy the diamonds. I said
just
we were
gonna-
gonna get the diamonds.
Well, that's
Oh.
the value amount that you need to
Oh.
acquire.
Yeah, and I don't know.
It's a pirate island. They're stolen anyway. It's not stealing if you steal already stolen things.
Actually, it is. There's a very specific code on Glasgow that I'm surprised you're not familiar
Yeah, I
with.
thought, wasn't the code "Don't mess with the other pirates"? If
Mm.
I'm,
Yeah, I mean, there's a code.
I mean, other
but
than the main rule, which
it's
you
really
told us
more
when we
like
first got
guidelines.
there.
Man, we made it a lot of episodes into this before that line got dropped.
This is 30 episodes deep, guys, and
Wow.
for us, for our group. Oh gosh.
Would anyone like to go to the island with the shrine on it? I mean, this is a lot of talking.
What do
I
you
don't
wanna
think
do?
I've spoken to people. This is the most ever.
I'll go with you.
I'll go. I'm sticking with you three. I do want to go to see Hachiro at some point. Just to say hello and
Sure.
the normal
We have to
politeness.
do
So.
Mm,
Yeah,
we
we have
could
2
check
weeks.
on the farmland as well.
Yeah,
That's
we can check
probably
on
not
that stuff while
changed
we're
very
here.
much.
All right. So if
Hey,
you guys
boys,
are
have fun.
pretty satisfied with your plans, then we'll say
Yep.
probably takes you a day or so to get all of this in order. The ship has to be resupplied. I presume that you guys stay for the ceremony, burying the
Akiko?
body of Akiko that you brought back. which takes place up on the the kind of very tall tower in the center of the island there. That is the sort of the spiritual center of the island. They have like, she is left covered because you guys will remember she was like pretty mutilated when you guys got to her. But the ceremony is held, basically sending her spirit off to rejoin the spirits of Azuria. And the process of like getting the orcs and stuff moved off the boat takes a little bit of time, as well as some of the other folks to eventually get everybody set up. And so we'll say like day 2, like midday, Phyxis and Murderbeard and the crew of the Grimm's Folly set sail, heading out of the Naporian harbor, headed for Glazow. And as they sail away, we'll remain on Naporia for now, with the 3 ladies who are here, and you guys have plans to head out to the shrine of the soul, sort of the shrine of the spirit, right? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Easy enough to like procure yourselves a little boat or something to head out there on. You make your way out. You head out there. It looks much the same as it did previously. Sort of semi-enclosed by some like rock and plant formations that wrap around this little shrine in the center of the space. You guys can definitely feel the like the presence of the island. It is just something you can you just feel as you make your way to the shrine and approach.
Did you have a plan?
Oh, okay, no. Sorry, okay. Stilla's just like coming out here and just like meditating on like the earth spirit. But like one of like the evenings, Scylla wants to get the sequel. Can the 3 of us can we reasonably sail the sequel like a little bit out and get it back? Like, is that reasonable for 3 people to do? Wait, is Tea Kettle, did Tea Kettle stay or no?
No, Tea Kettle's with the ship.
Probably should go with the ship.
She's the Grimm's Folly.
No.
She has boat baby duties to attend to.
Oh, boat baby.
You can. You do have to like go back to like, because it is like the sequel is somebody's boat, so you do have to go and be like, hey, we need that again. We're gonna take that real quick.
We're going to bring it right back.
Right back, I promise. Can't think.
And a fairly confused fisherman is like, okay, I suppose. Do you sail the sequel out?
Yeah, and like, I want to go and like sail it like a few hours out so that like it's like late in the night and we're like far away. And then I want to cast, hold on, it's like a specific one. Where is it? There it is. Nope, that's not it. Oh my god. It's like freaking detect something. Why can't I not find it now? I'm sorry. Everyone just talk and give me a second. Ugh.
I'm just munching.
Rowan's running back and forth trying to keep the sails.
Yeah, I
in
feel like
check.
a lot of if it's only 3 of us on this ship.
It's not a huge vessel. Like, it's a single sail. Like, you guys are fine to pilot this thing yourself. So you kind of sail it out. I don't know how like specific Scylla was with either of you of like what she was doing, but so it's possible that you guys just like sail like out of the port, like out of the harbor and like into open water. Using the moon and the orientation of Vijiria's ring to kind of guide you until you reach like whatever indiscriminate piece of water for whatever reason Sela determines is like the right spot, and she tells you like stop, we're here.
And I want to go to where it's deep enough for like big animals, because I found this spell. I was looking at the first levels, it's second level. I want to cast locate animals or plants, and I want to see if there's any whales around just for fun, because I don't know if they're around here.
Okay. Locate. Would you say locate plants and animals?
It's called the locate animals or plants, and so I describe or name a specific kind of beast or plant. So whales.
Okay.
And I concentrate on the voice of nature in my surroundings, and I learn the direction and distance to the closest creature or plant of that kind within 5 miles, if any are present.
Okay.
That's cool.
Make a nature check for me.
One. Yes. 19.
You sit down on the deck of the ship in the center of the seaquill here. You've sailed out until you're fairly certain it is deep enough. And the others watch as Sela. What does this spell look like? What does this visualize like as you cast this spell?
She probably like sits and it just closes her eyes and like rests her hands on her knees. And she has like a little bit of it's like bloodhound fur that sits in front of her, and because that's the component the spell says. But then she starts like kind of like humming, and it's kind of like rhythmic and stuff, but then eventually it takes on like a quality of sound that like reverberates in the air and is reminiscent of whatever she's like trying to track. So then eventually like she's not necessarily humming anymore, but like as like the wind blows by, like the Nimue and Rowan can like hear like whale calls as she's kind of like basically trying to echolocate them.
Okay. You cast the spell, and you seek out, and I think the water like around the boat kind of like ripples a little bit at like the apex of this spell that you are casting, almost as if like boom, boom, like a radar is like, or like a sonar is like rippling outward. It's nothing so dramatic as like a pinging noise and a wave, more that is just like almost an imperceptible like ripple. And Sela, you seek out. Has Sela ever encountered whales before?
I don't think she has, and I think it's like her heartbeat, so she knows they exist. But I don't think she's ever seen one other than like she has like whale teeth and like things that she's harvested. Okay. So, but I don't think she's ever actually seen one.
Okay.
Because she can't become one.
Right. You kind of sense almost like a prickle on the back of your neck, the sort of the tug of instinct. You just had a conversation with your fellow crew members about following the instinct, and your gut just kind of tells you like something deep down within inside you resonates with something in range of your spell. How exact is the information that you gain from this?
Okay, so it is
I got it.
I know the direction and distance.
You feel within about 2 nautical miles of you, and to the southwest is the source of the resonance that you feel in your spirit as you kind of just listen to the thrum of the etheric waves in the ocean.
Yeah, Scylla's ears like kind of perk and like turn in that direction a little bit. And then like she bolts up and like grabs whoever is closer, and it's like, we need to go that way. We need to go that way right now.
Me and Rowan scramble to
Start running to pull everything around. Yeah.
Okay.
Chasing the whale, chasing the whale. And this is probably one of like another like, I think it's happened like a few times, but this is a time where like there's like a certain like flatness usually to the way that Scylla is, or like she's usually very ornery, but this is probably like a time where she's very like excited and like energized.
Then my feeds off of that shit.
We're chasing it.
I
want to go say hi.
You guys sail for a time, and Sheila, you kind of continue to meditate and to cast your senses on this resonance that you feel. And you sail the prescribed distance. You can feel, Sheila, sort of the tension rising in the back of your mind as you feel yourself getting closer and closer, and you sail up to what Nimue and Rowan, what to you guys seems like just another like empty patch of water. The moon is high in the sky. The silvery gentle glow of Agiria's rings kind of like illuminate down on the water, casting refractions in the gentle waves. It's a clear night. There's nary a cloud to be seen. But Sheila, you know that you're in the right place now.
Oh my god, I'm looking over the water. I'm looking like over into it frantically. It's dark. I can't see. I don't have dark vision.
Can't see anything. It's also like nighttime in water, right? Like, so you're just staring at the surface of the water. You can't see anything from up here.
Okay. So assuming that this is 1 day out of 2 weeks, I feel like, would it be fair to say that like the spells that I would want to have prepared to do this, I can have, like having like dark vision and like speak with animals?
You certainly, like, I presume you would not have like embarked on this journey without being prepared for such.
Okay. I'm gonna cast dark vision on myself.
Okay. Your eyes probably like I think we see the irises of your eyes sort of like contract and turn into like almost like cat-like slits.
Yeah.
Your vision, everything goes like flat and monochromatic, but you can suddenly see like much further out than you could a moment ago as the dark vision spell takes hold of you, and everything is kind of cast in this flat, colorless cast. You still can't see like beneath the water from the surface of the boat, but you can see much clearer in the dark.
Then I'm gonna give everybody water breathing, so I rub a little bit of seawater on their necks and they grow gills.
Okay.
And if you want to see something very beautiful, come with me. And I jump off the side of the boat and dive in the water.
I'm gonna quickly take off my armor and then jump off.
Yeah, probably do that.
Warning would have been nice, and I start taking off the armor.
Here, I'll help you.
Yeah, thank you. Too many. Yeah. Also, I can't see in the darkness, and I jump down anyway.
Me neither, it's fine.
Okay. So the three of you splish into the water. You guys descend down.
Oh, I drop anchor first. before we, just in case.
You guys are probably well too deep to drop an anchor.
Oh shit.
Um,
Well, let's hope it doesn't drift
I mean,
too
like,
far.
yeah, you presumably you have furled up the sail or whatever. The boat's
Yeah,
not just gonna like piece off on its own. You descend into the water. You descend down maybe 15, 20 feet. Far enough that the pressure doesn't. It starts to get uncomfortable, kind of like pushing in on you, but it is not too unbearable for the depth. Rowan and Nimue, you guys can see sort of the indistinct shape of Sela diving just a little bit deeper than you before she kind of like pulls up. The light from the moon and from the ring cast, kind of these like beams of rippling moonlight down through the surface of the water, just far enough to give you a little bit of illumination to see by, but nothing more than sort of murky, indistinct shapes. Sela, it's very similar for you. There's not much to see in any direction here. It's just water. But you can look up and you can see the bottom of the sea quill kind of floating along the surface of the water. You see your two companions sort of swimming around near you in this very black and white, almost colorless image. And
I will.
As you look down, you just see, like eventually, like the light penetration is not enough that it just drops to blackness, and even your dark vision can only take you so far.
Yeah, so I will use my speech of beast and the leaf to just kind of like call out. I can't understand them back, but I'm just gonna, in whale, I'm just gonna be like, "Are you here?" Hello, whale. I just want to see you.
You kind of call out. You use this ability. I think the projection is less a Finding Dory style, like, ooh, whales.
So yeah, I know that's a funny image, but it's not like that.
No, it's not the vibe of this scene. I think it is a it is a manifest expression of your willpower, but it does very much like it kind of ripples through the water as this like sub-audible like boom, which eventually like lowers in harmonics until it becomes like drops below audibility. And a few moments later, you hear the distinctive call of a whale. Echoes in this dark, serene seascape. And from much deeper, a dark, massive shape begins to emerge. A deeper blackness against the blackness of the deep ocean. Nimue and Rowan, you guys see this shape begin to emerge, rising towards you. And as it gets just beginning to crest the light penetration level, you see a second, and then a third, slightly smaller shape begin to rise. And what we, the viewer, would recognize as humpback whales. 3 of them ascend from a deeper depth. 2 adults and a smaller calf. They rise up and kind of like level off maybe 50 feet away from you. You see they are, the adults are probably close to 40 or 50 feet in length. These sort of massive, bluish, grayish creatures with their sort of large, slightly curved in, almost beakish mouths. They ascend and kind of circle around each other a little bit, keeping some distance from you guys. But Sela, the calf, the young whale, comes up and kind of floats a little closer to you, and you sense the mature whales from further off are a little. They seem concerned, a little distressed. They kind of begin to swim a little more rapidly, not getting any closer, but concerned. The calf comes up within perhaps 10 feet of you and emits a kind of what you almost sense is like a playful or a curious sort of baleful whale call in your direction, as this young humpback whale is curious about you and has come to investigate.
Oh my god. Okay, so I feel like sometimes the actual spell Speak with Animals, sometimes it's really funny to talk to a crab or a seagull. But for this, I'm gonna just basically Scylla just wants to communicate thank you for answering my call. We mean no harm. Can you just sing for us? Basically.
Okay, so you sort of,
because that one lets me communicate back with them. Sure. I have to cast the actual spell.
You communicate this, and the baby whale seems excited by this. The two parents are a little more reserved, but are assuaged by your assurance that you mean them no harm. And you are not casting your Speak with Animals spell?
No, I am to communicate that. Gotcha. I just when Scylla says it sounds really not. It sounds awkward because she's very nervous right now. That's
okay. So you're able to understand them back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's the scene. I think. The baby whale kind of spends the next bit of time just kind of swimming around you guys, and going up to the surface and sort of breaching and jumping a little bit, and so just showing off a little bit for you. The two parents keep a watchful eye on this, but they honor your request. You ask them, you tell them we mean you no harm, we're just here, and you request that they sing for you. And they do. A chorus of these sort of soft, resonant harmonic whale calls echo throughout the water around you. And Sela, you have your Speak with Animals spell active here, and it's not words so much that you hear, so much as the spell allows you to understand the instinctual information that is communicated in this whale song.
It's exactly what I was looking for.
You feel through this song, you feel the ancient instinctual driving force behind the patterns of life to which these whales are guided without conscious thought. You feel the pull of that indescribable migratory instinct that guides them along a path that ancestors for longer than can be imagined have followed, to travel the vastness of the ocean to a place that is safe and ancient and home. A place to give birth, to teach the young. You understand of the song that it is without words or without set tune or rhythm. It is the history, the very nature of these whales' existence. After 20 minutes or so, the two adults break off their singing. The water grows still and quiet again. With a slightly reproachful call, one of them signals to the young whale, which ceases its investigation of the sequel up above you guys, descends down, does one last sort of like loop around the three of you, lets out a little sort of like of its own, and the three whales descend again back down into the blackness and disappear.
You just say like thank you when they go in whale.
Okay.
And then I will float back up
Yeah,
with my friends. And then that's it. We'll go home. Unless anyone wanted to say anything.
That was the best date ever, Sela. Thank you. Oh my god. I've always loved the water, but like now I love it even more.
I think you would have... Words cannot describe... The song is beautiful, but when you understand what it means, there's no words for it. And the meaning of seeing a creature that I have felt the song of the whales in my dreams, and I feel it when it's quiet in the blood that thrums in your ears, and to finally see it and to understand it is a very sacred moment that very few practitioners of what I believe will ever get to have in their life.
Thank you for sharing that with us then. I don't know what I would do if I ever met the face of my spirit proper. It's incredible.
When Nimue mentions me like facing the form of her spirit, Rowan just kind of goes like blank face, thinking about Helm and like, oh god, nope. But then she like she just kind of shakes her head and smiles and looks at Scylla and thank you for letting us come with you and for trusting us to be down there with you for that, because that's very personal.
It was largely because I needed help maneuvering the sequel, but also and she'll kind of like gesture to the little like flower ornaments that she's given and maintained for them. You have earned a place of respect, so you are welcome to see it. It's not meant to be secret. These things should be shared, but the knowledge of how to feel the song of the world like that is lost. And so, this is a rare opportunity. I must spend the rest of our time meditating on the island. I think it will help me process the information that I have just gotten.
You and me both. It's a good idea.
Yeah, about the meditations. I think I'm due for that as well. So maybe one night I'll join you. There's been a lot going on and I've been kind of ditching. So I think I need to
I know you have.
try again.
Well, I think now that we're here, visiting the smaller island is a good idea. If we want to spend a few hours every night.
I think you could use the
I could
refreshed connect.
Absolutely.
You know, I was going to say something. You're kind of pissing me off with how you're acting.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
But you kind of just stopped, so I didn't need to say anything. But I was going to turn into an ape and punch you if you didn't stop.
Oh shit. I mean, that would have knocked my senses back. That's for sure.
But Kenna.
But Kenna beat you to the punch, literally. So
literally.
Oh, good for her. This is. I told you before when I first performed the ritual that I would need you all to be strong to help me with something, and moments like this are what I want help with. I don't know how to find something that is lost when no one knows what it is, but there is knowledge and there are spirits that exist in far places like this, and I would like to collect it, and this is the first piece. And so she puts like a hand on Nimwe's shoulder. No more acting like a brat.
No promises. Like I said, that spirit thing kind of affects my moods like really irregularly. So if that happens again, yeah, sure, punch me, but it's going to happen again.
Well,
my dad's been dealing with this since I was born.
Maybe you would benefit from learning how to channel the changes in the energy that it sends you.
I've been trying.
Maybe you just need a good dose of education.
The problem
in the Firbolg way.
Sure, but I feel like my spirits are a little bit different. I don't know.
I don't know what spirit.
They could be the same. Who knows?
But I think that a spirit that represents a certain energy or comes from a great source. They may manifest differently, but they come from the same thing. Just as we may be different, but we all have the same things inside of us. So I think you could benefit from learning how to.
I know. You sound like my father.
I do respect your father greatly. He's a very intelligent man, and I do think you should listen to him more.
I know. Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
I want to have another lecture. I was like, I hear this all the time.
Like, Sis casts enlarge on the ape, which is Nimue flying the boat.
Like, down through all 3 decks of the boat.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't need your psychic anime jump to fly that far. Just do this. Just punch.
Yeet.
Yeet. Okay, that's all that was the thing that I wanted to do. So then Stella spends basically the rest of the time meditating on the island, checking on the crops.
So, okay. Well, here's what happens. You guys complete this, and you begin the journey back to Naporia. You sail the sequel back sort of to the north and the east, heading back in the direction that you came, heading for Naporia. And as dawn is breaking. The sky shifting from gray to paler whitish, eventually to blue. The island of Naporia comes into view. You guys, spent the whole night basically on this journey. There is a kind of a fog has sort of settled in. So Naporia in the distance as you come in is kind of this looming shape in the mist as the sun begins to rise, and you just see some of the fog kind of starts to burn off in the first vestiges of morning, revealing some of the sharper kind of peaks of the island, and some of the architecture that protrudes off from these high-rising, plateaued, tiered levels, and the falling waterfalls in the distance, and the singular shape of the island that has the shrine of the spirit on it in the center of the harbor, kind of looms dead ahead of you. And we'll pull back again as we sort of track backwards from the sequel. We see the ship sailing back towards Naporia, towards the harbor, and towards the island of the spirit. And Sela, probably for yourself, certainly Rowan and Nimue. I'm not sure about this, but for those attuned to magic, they will know that dawn is a very important and very specific event in magical terms. The breaking of dawn is a marking of a turning point, the renewal of a new day. It often washes away magical enchantments and marks the sort of rejuvenation of new magic. And it is, in a very real sense, a very specific moment that occurs at the beginning of each new day. And Sela, I think you kind of feel it as dawn breaks. You know exactly when it happens. And for just a moment, you hear that single baleful note of a whale song. And you are reminded suddenly in a rush of instinct. And we, the audience, we, the viewer, as we look down on the sequel, in that precise moment, that breaking of dawn, we see beneath the sequel a large, dark shape form in the water and rush off to the east. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
The east? What's in the east?
East.
West.
West. So, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you at home for joining us, as always. Thank you to the Proficiency Bonuses sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. Join us again next week right here on Proficiency Bonus at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Next week, we will be back with the Fool's Errand, who are in the process of a bit of a sticky wicket, as there is a whole army just rolling into town over in Naviria. And then, of course, the week after that, we will be back here for more pirate fun. So I want to conduct one bit of DM business before we wrap up, and that is to grant Sela a DM's inspiration for whales.
Well,
And that is going to conclude tonight's episode. So thank you for joining us. Until next time, stay happy and safe out there. We love you, and we will see you next Tuesday. Good night, everybody.
Love you. Bye.